Hi everyone, thank you so much for tuning in today. I'm really excited about this video. I wanted to bring something that was near and dear to my heart and to everybody else, and that is sin. Everybody does it, and what's up with it, right? So I titled this, I Am a Sinner, and How Can God Forgive Me? It's so easy for us to judge other people and to judge ourselves and, to ask, gosh, I did this and that. How can God really forgive me? Just a couple of days ago, I just want to be open and honest with you guys. Just a couple of days ago, I fell short, and I sinned, and I felt really bad about it, and I simply came to God and I asked for forgiveness, and immediately I felt 100% better. I didn't feel, that weight of that sin anymore, and I kind of just thought to myself, like, it can't really be this simple, it seems almost like I should do something else, like I owe God something, and that's really not how it is, it really is that simple, just asking God for forgiveness and moving on, And so I wanted to give you guys just an example of how some people who condemn us see sin, how Jesus sees sin, and where we are in the mix of all this in between. So we're going to start reading on John 8:3. And it says, Then the scribes and the Pharisees brought to him a woman caught in adultery. And when they set her in the midst, they said to him, Teacher, this woman was caught in adultery in the very act. Now Moses in the law commands us that such should be stoned. But what do you say? They said this, testing him, that they might have something of which to accuse him. But Jesus stood down and wrote on the ground, and with his finger, as though he did not hear. So when they continued asking him, he raised himself up and said to them, He who is without sin among you, let him throw a stone at her first. And again he stood down and wrote on the ground. Then those who heard it, being convicted by their conscience, went out one by one, beginning with the oldest, even to the last. And Jesus was left alone, and the woman standing in the midst. When Jesus had raised himself up and saw no one but the woman, he said to her, Woman, where are those accusers of yours? Has no one condemned you? She said, No one, Lord. And Jesus said to her, Neither do I condemn you. Go and sin no more. Then Jesus spoke to them again, saying, I am the light of the world. He who follows me shall not walk in darkness, but have the light of the life. So really we see somebody condemning an adulteress, okay, so she had a sin, which is just as equal as me lying or someone stealing something, because all sin is created equal. And Jesus not making a big deal out of it. He sees it for what it is. Okay, so she sinned, and he forgives her, and he tells her, go and sin no more. And that's it. You don't see Jesus saying, well, now you have to go sacrifice a lamb and a cow and and do all these dances. And there's none of that. It's really just that simple. It was just such a small verse that we read, and he's just very straightforward, And so as I was thinking about this, I was just asking God, like where is all this, and like where do we fit in all this, and what do you think about it? And I felt God speak to me, and he said, because I love you, I forgive you. Because I love you, when you come to me, I embrace you, I sustain you, I forgive you, I love you. It's just that simple. And it really is just that simple. There's really nothing else to it. There's no more research that needs to be done. It's as simple as you asking for forgiveness. Have a repentant heart. Ask God for forgiveness for whatever it is that you did, and don't do it anymore. And if you happen to fall short again, start all over again. God, I'm sorry for what I did. This is what I did. Please forgive me. I don't want to do it again. Help me to not do it again, and keep going. I used to be a part of a youth ministry, and I used to tell, the youth all the time, like, you have to imagine that you're running a marathon, and your goal is to finish that marathon. And if you happen to fall and you trip over a rock and you scrape your knee and you just feel like you can't no more, you have to get up and you have to keep going. And even if you make it to the finish line with scrapes and bruises and, you know, just blood running down your elbows, that's fine. You made it to the finish line, and that's all that counts, you know. And if you have to come to Jesus a million times to ask for forgiveness, do that. Come a million times to ask for forgiveness, because his mercies are new every morning and they're not going to run out. You're not going to be the one that you know, just that forecloses God and mercy. He's got new mercy for everyone every single morning. So don't allow the enemy to condemn you. Don't allow other people to make you feel bad for what you've done. You know, just ask God for forgiveness. Don't do it anymore and keep going. So I just ask that you share this video with somebody else, you know, and pass along the fire. Allow them to hear God too, you know, and I encourage you to seek God. And let me know what you thought about this video. If there's any comments, I'd be happy to answer. Thanks.